NFW Nation, and welcome to another episode of the Love Shack. I'm your host, Big Al, the Doctor of Love.
And I'm your co-host, Albert Charles. Good evening, Albert.
How you doing, Charles? And also, you got a special guest on the phone for us, don't you?
Sure do. We got none other than Jeremiah Plunkett, man, from the Untouchables.
Jeremiah Plunkett, one half the Untouchables, who also will be taking on the rec crew for the NFW tag titles. How you doing, Jeremiah?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me.
All righty. I tell you what, Charles, since you're the king of the interviews, you want to go ahead and get started?
I sure do. I hope you can hear me, Jeremiah. Can you hear me okay, buddy?
I'm doing good. Hear you good, yeah.
All right. I'm going to start this off. I just want to say thanks a lot for you and Drew coming in here to NFW, man, to be the first time we've had you guys there, and we're looking forward to having you. You got some tough competitors right there with the record crew. What you got to say about that?
Well, first off, it's great to be at New Focus Wrestling. New Focus Wrestling is one of the premier independent promotions in Indiana, and sadly, in Indiana, it's kind of overrun by a lot of mom-and-pop wannabe wrestling promotion. But New Focus, you can just look at the flyer and see the talent on there, and you know that this company is by far ahead of everybody else in that area. But as far as the Wrecking Crew for the NFW Tag Team titles, listen, the Wrecking Crew is one of those things that is plaguing professional wrestling right now. You see, the Wrecking Crew are just two guys who kind of drive to a town together, and they're like, hey, we should be a tag team. And that's where it ends. Me and Drew Haskins are an actual tag team. Me and Drew Haskins are brothers from another mother. You know what I mean? Me and Drew Haskins, we travel together, we train together, we fight together, we drink together. We're an actual tag team. Heck, like you said, we might as well be brothers. So the fact that these guys are your tag team champions, the fact that we're coming in, quite frankly, going straight for the tag titles is smart, because then you'll have a real tag team as your tag team champion.
Well, like I said, now, don't take these guys out because they're tough as nails, and they've been around a long time, but I know you and Drew personally, and I know you guys, that's your favorite things to do is drink a beer and fight, so it should be a good one. Now, I want to ask you this, Jeremiah, how many years, I've known you for a long time, but how many years you been in the business now?
I started wrestling in July of 2005, so I think that comes out to about 8.5 years. In that time, I've had the pleasure of wrestling in 10 different states, and later this year, I'll have my first international booking as I travel to Australia.
Oh, well, good for you, man. That's awesome. Now, will Drew be joining you on that tour?
Right now it's up in the air. Originally it was for sure. Now we don't know. There's passports and everything we got to get set up, but so it's kind of up in the air. Possibly, I hope so. Of course, I don't want to go anywhere without Drew. But if I got to, I'll go myself.
Well, we wish you good luck with that either way. Also, man, the thing that I've been wanting to ask you for the longest time, how does it feel, man, when you go in that ring, because I've seen you guys go 100 times, but when you're a completely different guy. I mean, like right now you're talking to me, but when you're in that ring, man, it's like you just turn everything off. Tell me what goes on in there, if you would.
When I go in that ring, okay, listen, this is what I do. About an hour before I go in that ring, I shut each and everything off. I put headphones in, and I shut everybody else because, quite frankly, I've got to focus. I've got to focus on what I've got to do. There's winners and there's losers in professional wrestling, Charles, and as long as you've been around, you know this, and as long as you've known me, you know I know it. There's winners and there's losers. Winners get paid more, losers get paid less. It's all about money. This is the business. I want to go to that pay window. I want to get the winner's share of the purse.
Well, I think that's a goal for anybody in this business, and you guys certainly are tough. Speaking of gold, you got gold around your waist right now, don't you?
Oh, well, up until about 2 weeks ago, I was the ASW heavyweight champion down in Lewisburg, Tennessee, and for the longest, we have been the NWA Southern Tag Team Champions. Now, we've recently had a split with NWA SAW, so we no longer have the NWA Southern Tag Team Championships. I guess I don't know what it was. We just we didn't see eye to eye with management there. We had taken those titles, which were just defended in one place for NWA Saw, and we took those to all 13 states that the southern titles can be defended in, and we defended them in every state. But I guess they wanted more control over their belts and over their tag team, so we had a difference of opinion. We're no longer there.
So you guys are not at Saw any longer?
Not currently, no. There's been some talks about us possibly coming back in the near future, but right now, no. We just had to have a break.
I understand. Now you guys are traveling. How many times a month are you traveling? And give me some ideas where you've been going to.
It really depends on the month. We've got our normal set bookings in Lewisburg, Tennessee. You can see us there. You know, if we're not on the road, or you know, on Fridays I'll hit up Tullahoma or some other town. As far as traveling, we've been doing a lot in Mississippi lately. Of course, we'll be up there in Indiana on March 22nd for you guys. We've done Alabama, we've done Georgia. We had the Carolinas some last year, and we're looking to go back to the Carolinas. So I mean, we've been putting some miles under the tires, definitely. But I mean, that's what professional wrestling is and was. It's not staying in one area and traveling 20 minutes from your house. Professional wrestlers get on the road and they travel and they wrestle and they make names for themselves, and that's what me and Drew are doing.
That's right. I was talking to you the other day. We were having a conversation. You said, "Man, I just want to wrestle. I'll go anywhere, with big, small, whatever. I just want to get out there and basically kick some butt."
That's it, man. I mean, you're never going to make a name for yourself working at the local podunk wrestling company 5 minutes from your house. You're never going to be anything. I don't want to be a big fish in a small pond. I want to swim with sharks and take over the ocean.
Yeah. Now, Jeremiah, I'm going off into something that I might not should, but I mean, you know me for a long time, and I don't care what I say. I will say it, and I'm going to say it right now. I got a couple things I want to ask. But what I want to bring up right now, we were talking the other day, setting up this interview, and you and I were talking. I want to ask you something. I remember when you came into business, man. You were a young kid. You're always respectful kid, nice kid, polite kid, the way it should be. How do you feel about a lot of the guys today coming up in the business?
You know, a lot of guys today, and it's sad because I've actually been helping the guy you know very well, Shane Morton. I've been helping him with his training school, and you know, I like all the kids that he's training, but it's just like they say they want it, but I don't know if they want it. You know, and they don't have and I say it's a luxury now, I hated it then, but they don't have the luxury of being forced to set up a ring or being forced to run security, you know, or being forced to, you know, set up chairs or any of that stuff, any of that paying dues, because, you know, they don't have to do it because where they're training, the ring's always set up, the chairs are always set up, so they're lucky in one aspect, but they're not in another. I don't want to say when I started, because I only started 8 years ago. I'm not, you know, an old school veteran, but I did my share of setting up rings and still will. I've done my share of setting up chairs and still would have had to. The guy today, I say that, and God, I don't need to say that. I don't need to sound salty, but it's like I question how much they want it. I question how many nights they stay up watching wrestling tapes to learn. I question how much wrestling consumes them, or if it's just something that, hey, I'm going to do one night a week once I get done with this training. I question that.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to bring something up. We were talking the other day, you know, like, we won't bring any names up, and they were like, some young fellas that you know had a chance overnight to hear some veterans lay it on the line and tell you how it is. It would have been a valuable learning pill to swallow. And from what I gather, they chose to go home and play video games. I mean, I don't understand that.
I don't either, and I think that's when I really kind of lost a little bit of hope in some of these guys. And you know, I I end up being wrong, but that's just where I lost a little bit of hope in the newer generation. I mean, we had a locker room with, I don't even know how many years combined experience. I know it was Bill Dundee, Ricky Morton, and Robert Gibson were in the house, and I mean, go up and pick their brain. Sit next to them. Don't sit on your own corner of the locker room. If they don't want you there, they'll tell you to leave. And they want to share information. This was my first time meeting Robert. I've met Bill and I've worked with Ricky. God, 2 dozen times at least. So I have a natural rapport with them. But it was my first time meeting Robert. And I've heard so many variable stories about Robert. I've heard he's always in a good mood. I've heard he's always in a real bitter mood. But he was taking, as soon as we went up and talked to him and we asked him some questions about the old Mid-South wrestling, and they told us stories about, showing up and not being able to get out of their car for an hour because so many fans were surrounding them. And when they saw that we were legitimately interested, then they would just come up, we'd let them have their space, go over, be talking amongst themselves, and Robert would go, hey, I want to show you guys something. And come up and just show me and Drew little things to use in the ring, how to control an opponent, how to put them where you want them, how to make sure that they, if there's a sloppy, untrained kid, how they don't hurt you. They were showing us all this stuff, and it's like, they're wanting to pass that down. We didn't ask, hey, how can I do this? He came up to us and said, hey, let me show you this.
Yeah. Yeah, that right there is worth thousands of dollars, man. I mean, you can't. Why somebody would want to turn that down, man? I'll never know, but I guess each his own. But like I said, you and Haskins, I've known Drew for a long time too, and man, I remember when Drew started out, he was hungry. You might want to, if you don't mind, you might want to give the audience out there a little insight on Drew. Like I said, I first met him. He was training up with Reno Riggins, and man, he was just a sponge, soaking up as much as he could. We talked about Ron Garvin, man. He loved Ronnie Garvin, and he was just, you could see it beaming in his eyes. But like I said, if you would give us a little insight on Drew there.
Oh, I'll gladly toot Drew's horn. I'm one of Drew's biggest fans. Actually, a little known fact, I think we were talking the other night, his 12th match was against me. Drew started a little later than I have, but man, he put in the miles even faster than I did. When Drew initially trained, like you said, he trained with Reno Riggins, and a lot of people don't know this outside of people he sent his resume to, but Drew Haskins then sought out training and was going every week to Charlotte, North Carolina, and training with Tully Blanchard. So Drew sought out one of the best and was trained by one of the best. Now you brought up Ronnie Garvin. When Drew was breaking into the business, still being trained, like a lot of people, he was looking for a name before he settled on, being himself, being Drew Haskins. So at one point, he was going to be Drew Garvin. And had even reached out through a contact he had made, I guess Reno had got him the contact or something, had reached out to Ronnie Garvin and had gotten permission to use the Garvin last name. And who knows how different it would have been if he would have been Drew Garvin, but he decided to go with Drew Haskins and make his own name, just as I did when I finally started going under Jeremiah Plunkett. Drew has been called up to the WWE to do extra spots and went down to Florida numerous times. Drew has wrestled, let's see, who has he wrestled up in WWE? I know he's wrestled Goldust up there, and he was actually Fandango's first ever match in Memphis, Tennessee. So I mean, Drew's doing extremely well for himself.
Yeah, I think the brother, both you guys, man, like I said, I've known both of you, so I've probably known you a little bit longer than Drew, but certainly a successful tag team, a hard-working tag team, and something I want to say to those young kids out there, too. Listen, one of the most respectful bunch of guys that I know, you and Drew. Yeah. Always got time, there's no, it's just obvious. I'm an older guy. I'm in my 60s. You treat me with the utmost respect, and you don't do all your periods the same way, and it's just always a joy and a pleasure to be around you guys, and we're really looking forward to having you on the 22nd of March And like I said, hopefully this won't be your last time. We'll get to see you come back a bunch of other times. And just glad to have you. And I'm going to let you go right now, but I'm going to turn it over to Al. I'm sure he's got some questions to ask you. Once again, thank you, Jeremiah. I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for being on the air, and here's Al.
All right, Jeremiah. Yeah, again, thanks for being on here. Now, our fans are called NFW Nation, and they're kind of looking forward to seeing you out here because they heard a lot about you also. So I tell you what, before I let you go, I was going to go ahead and let you say something to NFW Nation about your match and what you plan on doing in New Focus Wrestling and about the wrecking crew that you're going up against. So I tell you what, I'm going to give you the mic, and if you want to speak your piece and let them know what you plan on doing, just go right ahead, my friend.
All right, guys, well, NFW Nation, I just want you to realize March 22nd is not going to be the last time the Untouchables are going to be there. You see, it's going to be the first time, but we'll have to be back many, many times because I'm sure that the people in charge at NFW are going to want their tag team titles defended, and the only way they're going to do it is by bringing the Untouchables back. The Untouchables are going to walk in to NFW Wrestling, the best tag team in professional wrestling, as we are making ourselves be known, and we're going to walk out of NFW Wrestling with each one of our bags being 10 pounds heavier with those NFW tag team titles. Now, I understand that the Wrecking Crew are a couple tough guys, and hey, man, that's cool. There is nobody in professional wrestling who can out-wrestle or outfly Drew Haskins. And there is nobody in professional wrestling who can out-power or out-punch Jeremiah Plunkett. The Wrecking Crew, hey, I call all day long, bring it, guys. You ain't been in a bar fight or a wrestling match until you've been in a match with the Untouchables. And we'll see you boys on March 22nd.
There you go. Jeremiah Plunkett, one half of the tag team of the Untouchables, taking on the Wrecking Crew. So, Jeremiah, again, I want to thank you for being here. And we'll go ahead and let you go, and we'll finish this up. And we're looking forward to seeing you on March 22nd, my friend. So, good luck with your match, and we'll see you on the 22nd.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later, Jeremiah.
Okay, Charles, I'll tell you what, he just came out and said straight like it is. They're going to come in, they're going to win, they're going to take titles, and they're going to, be a force to reckon with. And I kind of believe, I tell you what, you have to give him credit. He's come into the right attitude.
Well, I'm going to tell you, these guys are not no last banner, man. I mean, they respect Scotty and they respect Anthony, but man, let me tell you something. These guys, like you said, a ball fight, a fist fight, heck, a last match, they're on 10, man. They're out to win, and they are winners. And like you said, Drew Haskins, I don't know if you've ever got to see Drew, man, but he's a pretty cut-up kid, man. He's quick, he's agile, man. He's right on the money, and it's not. They're going to have their work cut out for them when Scotty and Anthony they take on the Untouchables. It'll be one of the best matches of the night. But like I said, we don't want to sell our boys short either, because what Scotty likes to say, Al?
Oh, he's about ready for a fight.
Yes, sir. Well, it's going to be one heck of a match, man.
Oh, it will be. It will be.
Those guys coming in, and hey, guess what, Albert?
What's that?
He's back.
He's back.
Rob Conway.
That's right. That's right. Again, New Focus Wrestling presents No Excuses, March 22nd at the Metro Sports Center, 5820 Metro Drive here in Evansville, Indiana, 7:30 bell time. That's on a Saturday night, and everybody's going to get to witness the return of the Iron Man, Rob Conway, as he takes on. I tell you what a way to come back when you're taking on the wild-eyed Southern boy Tracy Smothers. And it is going to be one heck of a fight. Now, is Rob still the NWA champion?
Oh, Rob is not the NWA World Champion, but Rob is one half of the NWA Tag.
Yeah, that's right. He's one half of the tag team champions now. So
he just basically what he did is switch belts there. You go from one to the other.
He's making himself known all throughout the country.
He's a champ. He's still a champ.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, March 22nd is going to be a wild, wild night. Like I said, you got the return of the Iron Man Rob Conway taking on the wild-eyed Southern boy Tracy Smothers. Then you got Johnny Richards, the former NFW champion, taking on the headliner Chris Michaels, and it's actually titled A God versus a Headliner, as Chris Michaels takes on Johnny Richards, and that's one heck of a combo right there as far as a match. So that's going to be a tough match right there.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to stop you dead in your tracks, buddy, because I talked to Johnny today. And I'll tell you what, and I know what I'm talking about, March 22nd and I'm safe to say this, you're going to see a brand new Johnny Richards. That's all I can tell you.
I'm looking forward to nothing surprising me about him. I mean, he's different. Every show is something different. I mean,
Well, we're going to be looking at a fine-tuned machine, a guy that's focused, a guy that's ready to rip limb from limb, and Chris Michaels, I have the utmost respect for you, my friend, but don't take this match lightly.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you what, man, when he calls me and he tells me that he's ready, I'm talking about Johnny Richards. I mean, it ain't no. I mean, I know stuff. Just you better be on your A game, Chris. That's all I can tell you.
All right, we're looking forward to it. See what Johnny's up to again. Like I said, we've got a lot of matches. We've got a lot of titles. We got the tag titles. We got the NFW title. We got the women's title, and we got the No Limits title, Tri-State title. I mean, like I said, NFW Women's Champion Chloe. Here's a match right here. It's very unusual. Chloe's taking on return of the Pink Pansy.
Yeah, now, let me tell you something. The Pansy now, well, you've known the Pansy as long as I have. I'll tell you what, he might be a tough competitor.
A big competitor. I mean, he's a big
yeah,
boy.
About the pull those things, don't get underneath him. I'll tell you what, man.
I know T-Boat weighs 320 the biscuit, but this guy weighs more than the biscuit. I think he weighs like a couple little...
He's a pound of cornbread. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, Lord have mercy. So again, NFW Women's Champion Chloe's taking on the Pink Pansy. Now, the NFW title. Coalition member Chad Stallings is taking on none other than Scott Sexton. And we have a special referee, and that special referee is none other than Josh Jewell. And as y'all seen in our last show, that Josh brought his son and some other members of the Boy Scout troop out there to do a little tribute. And Chad Stallings kind of had to come out there and make a statement and try to attack Josh. But now Josh is going to be the referee, so I'm sure he's going to have that on his mind. But I'm sure he's going to call it straight down the line. But again, Chad Stallings taking on Scott Sexton for the title with Josh Jewell, the special referee, Charles.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be
I'll
something.
tell you the match that I'm really looking forward to that night is the one-man war, Stein Flynn going against none other than my favorite, Flash Flanagan.
There you go.
Tear it up that night, baby.
Tri-State title is up. Flash Flanagan will defend his Tri-State title against the one-man workhorse, internationally defined athlete, Dyron Flynn.
It's going to be a very technical match, and it's going to be a ball all combined in one, so I can't wait to see that.
And like I said, I'm not really happy how Dyron. We've been with the coalition. We're not too happy with the coalition, but you got to give Dyron credit. He is a wrestler. He's a technical wrestler. He's a smart wrestler, and you can't take him lightly. So Flash is like I said, he's a former champion. Heavyweight title, NFW champion, and he's tough. He's just as good. So that's going to be a great match. You got him against Dyron in a Tri-State title match. So it's going to be one heck of a fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And
hey, Albert.
Yes, sir.
I know you've been talking to Mama Rich. Tell me about this Wrestler of the Year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, March 22nd. Also, we'll be having a contest for the Wrestler of the Year, and we've got some names already in. I'm sure we have a few more. As you know, it's Canadian Kid. He was the Wrestler of the Year last year, so he will be in this drawing to defend his Wrestler of the Year title. But you've got other guys that are going to be in it, like Cliff Compton, which is the No Limits champion. You've got Johnny Richards will be one of them. Chloe, since she's NFW Women's Champion, will be one of them. And of course, Cliff Compton. The Wrecking Crew, Anthony Blaze and Scotty Wolf will be also be one of them. Also, Chad Stallings, member of the coalition, is also up for nomination for that. Of course, like I said, we'll probably have a few more others at the match. Like I said, you vote for who you think Wrestler of the Year will be, then we'll announce it there. And like I said, it's going to be something else. Flash Flanagan, Chad Stallings, the Wrecking Crew, Cliff Compton, Chloe, Johnny Richards, Canadian Kid, and I'm sure we'll have a couple more others that will be in there for that drawing for the Wrestler of the Year, and we have our little trophy presentation out there also. So, come on out there. you want your opinion to matter, vote for who you think Wrestler of the Year will be, and like I said, we got a lot of names out there, and so we're looking forward to seeing who the Wrestler of the Year is going to be. So I tell you what, I hate to say this, but Johnny Richards looks like a pretty good favorite for that title. So, but he's accomplished quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, I don't like some of his tactics, but you have to agree. Tag titles, heavyweight title, some of the matches he's been in and won. So he's definitely got to be a little bit odds-on favorite. But you got other guys in there, like Flash, the current tri-state champion. You got the coalition member Chad Stallings and others. So I tell you what, come on out, vote for your Wrestler of the Year. We'll give the trophy presentation out and have a great time. March the 22nd. It's going to be great. I mean, like I said, New Focus Wrestling presents No Excuses. March the 22nd at the Metro Sports Center, which is 5820 Metro Drive here in Evansville, Indiana. And speaking of Cliff Compton, like I said, Cliff Compton will defend his No Limits title against an opponent to be determined at the match. So they said if you want to know who his opponent's going to be, you got to be there at the show. Then you'll find out. So Cliff's going to defend his title. Like I said, we got the Red Crew going up against Untouchables. We just talked to Jeremiah Plunkett on one half the Untouchables. So, and again, Flash Flanagan going up against Darren Flynn for the tri-state title. What's that, sir?
Ain't fair enough.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
It's almost a year. Rob Conway returns the Iron Man. Right there at the Metro Center in Evansville, Indiana. That night, 22nd, he's going to be there. And you know what?
What's that, sir?
I would venture to say he's probably going to have him a little booth set up, I hope.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
He misses NFW fans.
I'm sure he will. And we've got...
They miss him.
Oh, yeah. And we've got other wrestlers going to be there. We got Benny Bray, Brandon Espinoza, Canadian Kid, T-Boat, Rough Rider Roy, Josh Jewell, the Baker Beater, the Lightning Kid will be there, Big Al, and more. And Charming Charles will be there, along with also Tempest, Benny Bray. I mean, it's all going to happen March 22nd. New Focus Wrestling presents No Excuses. And also, we want to remember to let everybody know the tickets, ringside tickets, are $10. General admission is $8. Senior citizens and children 5 to 12 are $5. Kids 4 and under and active military are free. Whew, man, I'm getting out of breath. And also, we want to thank our sponsors. Of course, Evansville Tire, Greek's Family Pizzeria, Awesome Pizza, Jan's Costume and Fashions, Rave Entertainment, and TJ Scrap Dealer. Thank you, sponsors. And like I said, it's going to be a wild night, Charles. I'll tell you what, return of the Iron Man, NFW title, Tri-State title, No Limits title, Tag title, Women's title. I tell you what a way to come back and start the new year other than No Excuses at New Focus Wrestling.
I've been talking to Mama Rich as well as you have, and there's getting ready to be some big things happening in NFW. All I can say right now is NFW on the road, baby.
Oh, and also, we want to let everybody know.
It's going to be fun. Stick around. We're going to be telling you more in the weeks to come. There'll be probably some announcements made March 22nd right there at the Metro Center.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be fun. We'll be glad to see you, Albert. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since been our last show.
Snow's going to be gone.
And, of course...
I'm ready for some sunshine now.
Oh, we're going to have a blast. And we'll let everybody know that... to keep everything interesting, exciting, and updated, the Love Shack will be based on a monthly basis now. So we will have a show. Another Love Shack will probably be right before the event, which will be around the middle of March. We'll have another Love Shack show, and I'm sure I'm going to get hold of the Wrecking Crew. I'm going to get hold of some others. And I'll tell you what, we'll have another great event. I'm sure Johnny Rich on his LTD tour again tonight. So I'm sure he'll have some more news for us, middle of March. So... And also, we want to share all the ladies out there, happy Valentine's Day. And I'll tell you what, Valentine's are for Sweetheart Charles. And I'll tell you what, there's one sweetheart that we know of, is a sweetheart of the NFW.
That's Mama Rich.
And that's Mama Rich. So happy Valentine's Day to Mama Rich. You are the Valentine of the NFW, the sweetheart of the NFW. So, happy Valentine's Day to you. And again, Charles, New Focus Wrestling presents No Excuses at the Metro Sports Center, 5820 Metro Drive here in Evansville, Indiana. It's a Saturday night. Bell time is 7:30 p.m. Return of the Iron Man, Pink Pansy against Chloe. Like I said, we got Wrecking Crew going against Untouchables. We got Chad going up against Scott Sexton with Josh DeBaker as the special referee. Chloe taking on Pink Pansy. Cliff Compton defending his title. Tracy Smothers taking on the Iron Man. What a way to come back other than going against Tracy Smothers. Then you got the guy against the headliner, Johnny Richards against Chris Michaels. And like I said, Canadian Kid, Benny Bray, Brendan Espinoza, Just John, Tempest, and T-Boat and Rough Rider Roy, Lightning Kid, and many, many more, Charles. I tell you what, whew, I'm about out of breath, and I don't know what else to say except for saying, I tell you what, if you got anything you want to say, you want to start spreading the love, Charles, it's all yours, my friend.
Yes, sir. I want to say this right here. I will promise NFW Nation, it either will be live or I'm sticking my neck out on the line. I'm going to have an interview. If I don't have it together, I'm going to definitely have the Wild Out Southern Boys saying a piece, and I'm going to get a hold of Rob Conway, and we're going to have a little speech from each one of them.
All right, okay.
That's going to be a match right there, you know.
Oh, that would be something, Tracy.
Wild Out Southern Boy, man, and the Iron Man. I mean, now, Albert, let me ask you something. That's the main event anywhere in the United States.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I mean, you got a guy who's, you know, I remember when he was tag team champions in ECW with Tommy Wildfire Rich, Tracy Smothers, you know.
I remember him and Armstrong, man. What a tag team, man. What a tag team.
Oh, they were something else, and he was part of the, what's that with the Italians or?
Full-blooded Italians, man.
There you go. There you go. So he is a living legend. He's you know, he's been all around. He's a great competitor. He's got that attitude where he don't care what everybody thinks as long as he wins. But he's going up against the Iron Man, making his return. So I tell you what, that's going to be
NWA former
that match.
NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
That's right.
Former
And
WWE Tag Team Champion. I mean, that's
you know, like you said,
right there.
that match there will be
It's going to be a good match, and I will get a hold of both of them. Like I said, he has a tape live on the air.
okay. Woo! I tell you what, Charles, keep on you on the road if you want to spread the love.
I sure do. I just want to remember this. I want y'all to remember this, little Shaq. Valentine's Day is coming up.
That's right.
Tell the one you love close to you. Whisper in her ear. And my little love nugget. My special honey drop of the day. I'm here to say one thing. Don't fight amongst yourselves. These are fighting to us. All you got to do is
Good night, Charles. Good night, FW Nation. See you next month in March.